In today's video, when you're trying to lose body fat to go from something like this to something like this, how much of what you lose is actually body fat versus muscle? Hey guys, what's going on? This is Parvella from ProPhysique.com. Yes, I am a fat loss expert. I myself have been doing this for more than 30 years. I've coached people for more than 15 years. And if you ever want a free consultation, I'll put a link below. But today's video is about a question I got on my Instagram direct message. And I love giving you guys and girls the tools to do this on your own. So let's talk about the question that I got. And I'm going to give you some specific details on how to know if you're losing fat, if you're losing muscle, and how to prevent muscle loss when losing body fat. I'm down to 270, 40 pounds since March following your advice. Awesome work. My question is maybe you can address. I seem to lose a ratio of 3/4 pound of fat to 1/4 pound of muscle. I'm not sure how to lose less muscle while losing this much weight. Any ideas? Yes, of course I've got ideas. So when I'm trying to lose body fat, because I started this process many years ago to compete in bodybuilding, it would not be a very good process if you lost all your body fat and in the process you lost muscle. So I'm going to give you the keys to ensure that you are not losing muscle. Now, first things first, when you look at research, they don't actually look at muscle, okay? Muscle is a measure of either fat-free mass or lean body mass. That can be impacted by many things, including fluid intake, carbohydrate intake, and nutrition. So you can increase your lean body mass by having a high carb day. Why? Because when you eat carbohydrates, they are stored in your muscle. The word carbohydrate indicates that it pulls water into those muscles. So these muscles, when they are dehydrated, they are smaller, thus lean body mass. But do you actually have less muscle? No, you have less lean body mass. This mass can change without any changes to muscle just by nutrition. So I just wanted to clarify that so you guys understand why sometimes in research or sometimes on your scale, it might think that you've lost muscle when in fact you have not. Okay, so what are the keys to know that we're losing body fat versus muscle? There are a few things that people do that cause muscle loss. The most common is they try to lose fat too quickly, okay? I've been talking about this for years, but there's a lot of research in athletic fields where they wanna lose some weight, but they don't wanna lose their performance. And they've come down to a very good formula. Now, this is a formula for athletes, but you don't wanna lose more than 1% of your body weight per week. So for a 200-pound man, that's about 2 pounds per week. For a 150-pound woman, that's about 1.5 pounds per week. That's an easy number to remember. Now, why is that? Because to do that, you've got to create a caloric deficit that is too big for your body to overcome to maintain muscle and performance. So there you go. Two things that I just said you can do to avoid losing muscle is not create too big of a deficit. Now, what creates your caloric deficit? I'll put my link to my free calculator below so you can understand where your calories, macros should be. It'll help you set up your meals. But the idea behind a caloric deficit is that there's two pieces to it. Food or calories coming in and energy going out, okay? So those two parts of the equation are gonna determine how big your caloric deficit is. We wanna be in a big enough deficit to elicit a fat loss response, but not so big that we start to have issues with our training and we start to lose performance. And so this is where this sweet spot rides, and that's what us coaches do. That's why when you see some amazing transformation, so I'll put Dan Devine on here. I love showing Dan because he did our transformation challenge, which our new one will be starting in September. So some details on that coming soon. But the idea here is that when you see these amazing transformations, they are losing zero muscle, right? Now it might look like on their scale or an in-body scan that they are losing lean body mass, but remember, they're not losing muscle. Years ago, my friend Chris Foss at the University of Oklahoma did an entire contest prep tracking all his details. And he got completely shredded, did a natural bodybuilding competition, and he's a natural pro. And guess what? He lost zero muscle, zero lean body mass, despite losing more than 30 pounds of body fat and getting down to like 5% body fat. So if he can do it, well, then we all can do it, okay? And what are the keys to keeping the muscle? I told you what not to do. Don't try to lose more than 1% of your body fat per week. If you're an athletic place, if you are obese, if you have several hundred pounds of body fat to go, like, if you're at 270, you might be able to lose 3 to 4 pounds of body fat per week and not really risk muscle loss. However, the closer you get to your ideal weight, yeah, you need to focus on that. So what are the things we need to do to avoid muscle loss? 1, you got to focus on your training. You got to get in the gym and do what you're doing, okay? If you have a set amount of muscle, train the same that you've been training, you will keep that muscle. If you want to add muscle during this time, guess what you can do? You can increase the intensity, you can increase the volume, you can increase other metrics. And that's what I do as a coach. I help my athletes put on muscle while they're losing body fat. It's a very small margin, right? You got to fit in this window. But training intensity, training frequency, training volume are very important. And that's what we do. I myself, as a 49-year-old lifetime natural bodybuilder, have been focused on many years on how do I get as much body fat off to get as shredded as possible and stay with all my muscle. And also, let's talk about training intensity. Are you actually training with the intent of putting on muscle? A lot of people will say to me, Coach, I go in the gym and I burn this many calories. I don't like to think of resistance training, going in the gym and moving weights, as fat loss tools. Fat loss tools are diet and cardio. Muscle building tools is resistance training. Think of them separately, and that will help your mindset. Second, protein intake, okay? Protein breakdown is going to increase with the more activity. So you need, if you are going to stimulate muscle, you need protein to help with muscle protein synthesis, or the ability of your body to resynthesize those proteins onto you and have more muscle at the end of the day. What is a good number for protein intake that you'll be very safe with? Just set it at your goal weight. That's it. Like if you're 270 pounds and you go, someday I want to be 190, you think that's your goal weight? 190 grams of protein a day is going to be plenty. If you want more specifics on the ranges, use my free calculator that I mentioned earlier, okay? So now what are we doing right now? We're training hard. We're taking in proper protein. We're not losing fat too rapidly, okay? And the final thing that I want to say is give yourself realistic expectations, okay? You didn't put your body fat on in a month or a week. Don't try to be shredded by summer if you've got 50 pounds to lose and it's only 4 weeks away, 8 weeks away, 10 weeks away. When you see these incredible transformations, I will say this, the human body can be quite amazing at recomping at a rapid rate. Even more rapid than, the math would add up. I hear people say, well, if you're in a 500 calorie a day deficit, you're gonna lose a pound a week. Listen, I've seen people lose 4 or 5 pounds a week while resistance training, while doing cardio, while hitting their nutrition. Because as you add muscle, as this muscle increases, as body fat comes off, body fat is inflammatory. So you lose some of that inflammatory response, you add some lean body mass, you actually add muscle, and the hormones for us just improve. The digestion improves, the mindset improves. There is a dynamic impact that the human body can have. And I've witnessed it in our transformation challenges. I've witnessed it with my clients. I've witnessed it myself. The last year I've been doing a better job of training. You guys probably, maybe have noticed that I look a little different this year. Well, I'm in a better place mentally. I've been really consistent with my training, been really consistent with my diet. I'm not drinking as much. I'm a dad of 3, a business owner, and I just had a really focused few months on myself. And it's really profound how impactful that can be. So try it out, guys. Just give yourself an opportunity to lose body fat in a manner that's going to ensure that you don't lose muscle. You're going to look better when you get there. Don't focus just on seeing big drops on the scale. Instead, focus on things like pictures and measurements, and use the scale as well. Okay, hope you guys are having a great day. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you're interested in our next challenge, please comment below, and I'll get you set up with a link so you can get a reminder. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.